Hey guys, thank you for joining my live. Okay, somebody saying they can't hear me. One moment, y'all. We working. We getting this worked out.
Okay, I don't know why I keep muting you, but hold
Hello. But then when I okay, say the host says unmuted your mic. Why does it keep going muted though? Hello, hello, hello. Come on in. Come on in to this live, y'all. We're just trying to make sure y'all can hear me. Because I don't want to be talking and doing all this. Okay, Erica says she can hear me. Okay. Latasha say it's going in and out. All right. So right now I feel like they can hear me. Hopefully it won't go back out. Okay, so it's showing me that you guys can hear me. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me throughout this process, but you will be able to go back and watch this video as well. So thank you for joining this live. I am Stacey Renee. I am the owner of the Sweet Inn. It's going in and out in there. She said it's not going in and out. Okay, it must be their internet connection. Okay, thank you, Erica. So I'm Stacey Renee, and I am the owner of the Sweet Inn, and I just want to thank you guys for joining this live, and this is my first live class for 2023. I've done live classes, but just more like in more of a private setting. So this is my first live class on a larger scale. And so I'm excited about it. But like I say, it's my first one. So y'all get to see it live in color, not an edited video, not a 60-second clip. So you'll get to see if I mess up. Hopefully I won't. But y'all get to experience all of that. So, well, let me first start with why I decided to do the live. I decided to do the live because I received a overwhelming amount of responses and love from my pineapple video that went viral all over the place. Viral on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, reaching over 20 million people. So because I received so much love from that video, which I honestly I wasn't even thinking about the video was even going to go viral like that, but it did. So I decided, because I received so much love from it and so many questions and messages about, do I offer classes? Am I going to be doing lives and things like that? I decided to show my appreciation and do a live video. So let's go ahead and get into it, because I'm one of those people, I like to just get straight to the point. So what we are going to create is the strawberry crunch chocolate covered pineapple. So pineapples, it's a big thing right now. Like, pineapples is a real trend. Like, everybody is dipping pineapples, candy pineapples, Jolly Rancher pineapples, whatever you can think of with pineapples, everybody's doing it. So that's what I'm on. Hey, babe. So I'm excited about it, and I'm just gonna dive right into it. So what you see before me is just my ingredients. I hope you guys can see it, but if not, I'll show you. So what you see before me is my ingredients. I have my pineapple, I have chocolate, my bowl, butter, some freeze-dried strawberries. I have some of those. We're just adjusting the camera a little bit. Right? Make sure you guys can see me. Okay, so I'm going to actually move some of this stuff out the way. I just wanted you to kind of see what all was involved when creating this. It's a really simple recipe. Doesn't take long at all. It's a really simple recipe, and people love it. Like, they love it. So I'm going to first start with, I'm just going to move some of this stuff out of the way. And then as I go through what I'm using, I'll show you what I'm using. Okay, that's good. Thank you. So I'm just going to move some of this out of my way. Okay, so let me go ahead and put on my gloves. So we are going to start with the crunch first. And the reason I'm starting with the crunch is because the crunch takes the longest. Not more so really just more so the cooling part. Just the mixing and the baking part doesn't take long at all. It's just the cooling part that takes the longest. So I already have my oven here preheated to 350. Okay, now 1 second. Where's my knife? I got all type of stuff up here. Okay, one moment. Let me grab my knife. Okay. So what I have two separate bowls here, right? So I have my Jello strawberry gelatin that I am going to empty in one bowl. Actually, let me not start with that first. I'm going to actually put my butter into the bowl first. So into each bowl, I am going to put a half a stick of butter. And you want to make sure that your butter is room temperature. This is really soft because I had it sitting out for a while because I wanted to make sure it was room temperature, but it's like really soft. So you want to make sure that your butter is room temperature. And I'm just putting a half a stick of butter into each bowl. And if you have questions, you can drop them in the comments. All right. We have to scrape all that butter off because we don't leave butter behind. All right. One moment. Okay. So now into each one of my bowls, I'm going to add my Jello mix. So in this bowl, I'm going to add my strawberry Jello gelatin. And then in the second bowl, I'm going to add my instant vanilla Jello. This one, who is that? Alicia. It is a 3.4 ounce. So if you need to make more, of course, you would just double the recipe. Now, there are several versions of strawberry crunch. We all know that. There's several different versions. I've tried them several different ways. This is just one of the versions that I like the best. I know that there's versions where you can use a cookie and it's a lot faster, but this is the method that once I tried it, I preferred it. Okay. Oh, good question, Dottie. Salted butter. It is salted butter. That was a very good question. Okay, so now in each one of our bowls, we have a half a stick of butter and we have our gelatin in one bowl and our vanilla pudding in the other bowl. So now I'm going to get I'm going to put 1/4 cup of flour into each bowl. Okay, so this is our mixing part. So we're just going to take our fork and we're just going to gently mix our mixture. So it is going to look gritty, but that's fine. That's the look we want. So we just want to make sure we are mixing that butter along with the pudding and the flour. So just mix that really well. Did some arm work. We also are streaming on YouTube, so y'all should be able to see this on YouTube as well. Oh. So I'm just going to keep mixing this. Like I said, it's going to look gritty. That's fine. Yeah. And this is the reason I wanted to start with the crunch, because the crunch takes the longest. And sometimes I will go in with my gloves and just kind of smash it up. Okay. So this is what the vanilla portion is going to look like. All right. Let me just change this glove up. And then we're going to work on our strawberry. Okay, so I'm just going to just do the same thing I did for the vanilla with the strawberry. Is there a certain amount of time that I mix it? Are you referring to the mixture itself? If you're referring to the mixture itself, no. I just mix it until I feel like it's like well combined. If y'all can see that. But I'm going to show you once I'm done. I still got some flour in here that needs to be ground up. Like I said, this is some arm work, y'all, but it tastes so good. Always have your a silicone mat down, because if you like me, I make a mess when I make stuff. Okay. I feel like this is fair. So the strawberry is won't be as gritty as the vanilla. I don't know why. It's just something that I've always noticed, that the strawberry is not as gritty as the vanilla one. Okay. So this is what our strawberry is going to look like. Remove this. And let me clean up my mess. Where is my... Now, the next process that I'm going to do with this is I'm going to place this onto my cookie sheet. So let me grab some more gloves. Okay. So again, like I said, I have my oven already preheated to 350. We're going to place this onto our cookie sheet, and we're going to allow this to bake anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. I'm just going to kind of spread that out. And then I'm going to dump my strawberry on top. It doesn't matter if which one you put down first. Okay. So now you're not going to press this flat, but you do want to kind of spread it out, but we don't want to press it flat. So again, that was 3.4 ounces of the Jell-O and the vanilla pudding, a half a stick of butter into each bowl, and 1/4 cup of flour. Okay, so this is what it looks like. So I'm placing this in the oven on my bottom rack for 6 to 8 minutes. Okay, so we are going to take a break for just a moment, and we will be right back. But if you have any questions, comments, just drop them in the comment section below, and we will make sure we get to them. I'm ready. Okay, we are back and we have our strawberry crunch in the oven. Now, the next phase we are going to move to is our pineapple. Now, with this recipe, you can use canned pineapples. You can use fresh pineapples or you can use canned pineapples. A lot of people like to use the canned pineapples because of you get the perfect shape of the pineapple versus using the fresh pineapple. You have to do all that cutting, but it's whatever works for you. Like whatever works for you, whatever's easier. I believe in working smarter, not harder. But for this video, I decided to do a fresh pineapple just so I can show you. You know, if you decided not to do the canned pineapple, you wanted to do the fresh pineapple, I can show you some ways on how to cut it to kind of still give you like that same effect. So I have my pineapple here, and I'm just going to cut off the top half. Right. And what I have here is I'm just going to core out the middle of it. This is a pineapple slicer / core, and you just want to stick that on the top of your pineapple and push down and just turn it. And this is going to core out the pineapple. Now, if you have to tilt it or whatever, just tilt it. It is going to give the pineapple like a swirl effect. Let me watch the time. I got to make sure I'm watching the time for that crunch. And you just want to make sure you go all the way down to the bottom, and then you should be able to pull it out, but not. If not, sometimes you got to play with it and wiggle it out. Ooh, this is so juicy. All this juice. See, we got our pineapple. And if I didn't tear this up to the bottom, you could have kept it and like did some other amazing things with it. So I'm just going to clean up some of this juice here. Bear with me just 1 second. All right, so let me check on my crunch because it's very important we do not burn the crunch. The crunch. Okay, so with this pineapple, in order to release this, you're just gonna press the buttons in. Oh no, take this off, and it should fall off like that. Okay, so here it is. You have a spiral pineapple, and of course, with a spiral pineapple, you won't be able to get like the perfect circles, but I'm gonna show you how to get close to it. Okay, do we got a question? I can't see. I need glasses.
Do you replant the crown?
Oh, do I replant the crown? No, but I want to start. I really want to start. I haven't replanted the crown. So with this, I hope you can see it. You see how it's spiral? We're just going to adjust the camera some. So what you can do, if you just want to use fresh pineapples, what you could do is, let me turn it around this way. See where the end stops right here? All you have to do is just cut through the other side, and it'll look like that. Now, yeah, it's still open, but what difference is it going to make? Because once you dip it and do all this other great stuff to it, like this piece just fell off. But once you dip it and do all this other amazing things to it, it's not going to matter. So I'm just cutting. See, I still have my ring. Now this pineapple was really juicy. So it's literally just falling apart on me. But I still have my ring. All right, so that's all I'm doing is just cutting to where the ends meet, so that way I can keep my ring. And of course, you gotta eat a piece of pineapple. Mm. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna actually go ahead and take my crunch out. So let me show you what the crunch look like. Okay. So this is our crunch. And it smells so good. So we have to, this is the longest process because we have to allow the crunch to cool. It needs to cool for at least an hour. The first 30 minutes, it needs to cool, just cool down. And then the next 30 minutes, you can put it into your refrigerator. Now, of course, I'm not going to keep you on the live for a whole hour, so you know I have a backup plan. But that's the gist of how you do the crunch. But I'm going to still show you the remaining of the process. But let me go ahead and get into these pineapples. Okay. So, I'm sorry. The pineapple's so good. Okay. Woo. So you're going to take your pickle because your pineapples are going to have to be very dry. What does what do, Alicia? So you want to dry them very well. Fruit is water. I mean, it's water. So when you have like candy pineapples and stuff like that, and people ask, oh, how long do they last? Fruit is water. It's going to break down. They're not going to last forever. These type of desserts are made to just eat. They're not made to just, hang on to them for 2 weeks. They're made to just go ahead and enjoy them once you make them. Because like I said, fruit is water. At some point, it's going to cause breakage into whatever it is that you're putting them in. So you want to get as much of the water out as possible. Where is my... Oh, 1 second. Let me grab my parchment paper. So always keep you some parchment paper nearby. So I'm just going to dry them and stick them on this rack. So that way they're dried and they're out my way. And you're going to use a lot of paper towels. Okay. So I'm just squeezing to try to get as much of the water out as I can, or juice as I can. You're basically just going to repeat this process until you have pretty much dried all your pineapples. I noticed in the video actually I'm going to freeze these. Yeah, I'm going to freeze these as well. Just because of the fact that it is a live video, and if the whole process would take way too much time on the live, so I'm just basically showing you the process, but I have some pineapples that are already frozen. So I'm going to squeeze this as much as possible. Now, let me say this. I have dipped them without being frozen, whether it's candy pineapples, chocolate pineapples. Frozen just makes it easier because can you imagine like trying to dip this in something like it's literally you can do it, but frozen just makes it just makes it easier to dip. So I'm just squeezing, getting. Okay, so now we have our pineapples dry. It's a little half a piece. Can't leave a half a piece out. Let me just set this to the side. Okay, so I'm just gonna clean my mess up real quick here. Um, let's hang. Let's hang up. Keisha, you are so funny. I missed you, girl. We definitely got to do a hangout. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is take my strawberries, my score, wooden stick, however you say it, and I am going to insert them. The good thing about the fresh pineapples is when you core it out, it is a little bit thicker than the canned pineapples, so it does give you a lot more wiggle room to insert your stick. So I'm just going to insert it all the way through like that. Like I said, don't worry about if it's not together because once you freeze them and dip them, it's not going to matter. It's going to come together either way. Like this one is a little loose, but it's still fine because, like I say, once you freeze it, you'll still be able to actually dip it. And all I'm doing is just sticking this into my I'm about to say strawberry, pineapple, and just taking it through the other end. Like some people be tripping about the canned pineapples and the fresh pineapples, but honestly, the canned pineapples come from a pineapple. But I believe in working smart, not hard. So whatever works for you, that's how I see it. And people, when you put all this candy and all this stuff onto these pineapples, they don't know the difference. All right. So all I'm doing is just securing my pineapple for my dipping process. Oh, that one came apart. Okay. These pineapples are so juicy. They are so juicy. Now, you want to, like I said, to help the dipping process. Oh, Walmart. I get them from Walmart. To help the dipping process, freezing is better because trying to dip into hot candy and hot chocolate stuff like that, it'll be a lot tougher. So that's the reason why most people freeze the pineapples. So we're gonna stick these in the freezer. These actually need to stay froze for it. You want to freeze them for at least 3 hours. Of course, I'm not gonna stay on this live for 3 hours. So I already have some froze, but I wanted to show you the process of how it goes if you wanted to use the fresh pineapples. Again, it will be the same process if you did it with the canned pineapples. So I'm gonna put these in the freezer. Actually, just sit right here. Now we are going to get into melting our chocolate. Now I normally use a warmer, chocolate warmer, but today I'm going to use the microwave. This out the way. Okay, so the chocolate that I prefer is the Ghirardelli chocolate. It is the vanilla flavored melting wafers. This is what I like. This is what this is my preference when it comes to dipping treats. This is my preference. But I do add some of the almond bark. I love the almond bark because I like the consistency of the almond bark, but I'm real sold on the flavor of the Ghirardelli. So I mix the two and it makes a great combination. So I'm just going to place some of these into my measuring cup. And when you melt in the microwave, you want to make sure that you're melting in 30-second intervals. Do not exceed that. You're going to think that it's not melting, but I promise you it is. Oh, yeah, that grows the pineapple at home instead of buying them. Yeah, I would love to get into that. So I'm just going to maybe back and forth to the microwave. I like to just start with a little bit first. And I just break the block off of the almond bark. So you always want to start with just a small amount, and then you can just kind of add into it. So I'm going to pop this in the microwave in 30-second intervals. So actually what we'll do while I'm melting this in 30-second intervals, we'll take a 1-minute break and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm still melting, but that was literally 60 seconds. And as you can see, see how fast those 30-minute intervals melted this. So that's why I said don't exceed more than 30 seconds at a time, because it's melting. You may not think it is, but it is. So I like to kind of add, I'm going to put some more in here, and then I'm going to pop it back in the microwave. So I'm just putting more on. I'm just kind of mixing the two. So I'm just mixing the two. This is why I prefer the warmer, because the microwave method, I just prefer the warmer. But I didn't do it this time. It's all right. So I'm just stirring it up to kind of help aid the melting process. And I need to make this deep enough so when I dip, I get full coverage of my pineapples. So I need full coverage, so I got to make sure that I'm putting enough in here. But I just like to add a little bit at a time. Okay, let's see what we got here. Still, yeah. Yes, freeze until they get stiff. Yep. Yeah, you can definitely freeze them until they get stiff. Okay, so I'm just mixing. Mixing. So it is definitely melting. The consistency is the biggest thing. You have to have good melting chocolate, because that's what's going to allow you to be able to dip a lot easier and a lot faster. Because if you don't have a good consistency, your dipping process is going to be a headache. So I'm just letting that roll for a few more seconds. Like that. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I need to get some glasses. I should have bought my glasses. I don't know why they bring glasses. Okay. So we are almost there. Almost there. It's just a lot. So as you can see how flowy that is. This is what you want when you're dipping. And I didn't even have to add anything to this. Now, sometimes if it's too thick, sometimes you can get a bad batch of chocolate. It's nothing you did. You're doing the process the same way you've always done it. Sometimes the batch is just bad. And when that happens, you could put like some paramount crystals or a little bit of vegetable oil to kind of loosen it up. And if you're going to melt, it is better to melt in a glass measuring cup or bowl, because of the heat. It holds the heat. So I'm almost there. See how that's melting down. You can't see it, but I still got a piece of the almond bark in here. I'm needing that to melt down some more. So while that's sitting, we're gonna go ahead and get back to our crunch. One second. This is like I made a backup crunch. Oh, I made a backup crunch. I felt like I knew that was gonna take too long.
What measure? But how much chocolate?
Now this cup holds 2 cups. It's a 2-cup measuring cup. I missed the pineapple point. It's 350 what you get the temp to. Oh no, this is 350 is what we preheat the oven for the crunch, for the actual strawberry crunch. So I'm not actually dipping them in candy. This is being dipped in chocolate. But the 350 is what you want to put your oven on to bake it. But you'll be able to go back and watch the video. You'll be able to go back and replay the video. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is you're welcome, Lynette. I'm going to grind up my strawberry crunch. Now, remember I told you once you bake the crunch, you need to allow it to sit 30 minutes, and then you need to allow it to sit an hour till it completely cools down, and everything kind of solidifies and it becomes hard and crunchy. So I have a backup strawberry crunch that I made that I'm going to actually go ahead and grind, but I'm going to show you that one. Okay, so our chocolate is there. It's there. It's melted. Pretty good. Okay. Now, this is what your strawberry crunch is going to look like once you have allowed it to sit for an hour, to allow it to cool, allow it to harden. It'll be like this. So you should be able to crumble it. You should be able to crumble it. And it is so good, y'all. It was a recipe I found like 4 years ago. And it's been one of my favorite ones that I just kind of always stuck with out of all of the ones that I tried. So you should be able to literally crumble it like that. So I'm just going to go over and I'm going to place this into my blender. And I'll show you what it looks like once I blend it up. So you just want to start out with a little bit at a time. Let me sit this right there because you pull my crunch. I put too much. so all I did was grind it up in a blender. If you have a food processor, you can use it as well. I'm just using a blender. But this is how it's going to look once you grind it up. So you want to start off with a little bit at a time. Oh, you're welcome, Nicole. You are so welcome. Okay, so I'm just going to continue to grind until I get this all grinded up. Actually, let me just pour it over here. And sometimes if you grind it, you may have to go through, if you have any clumps or lumps, just kind of break them apart. Okay, so let me continue grinding this. My phone going low. Really, Stacy? Really? I just need a wall piece part. I don't even know if it's water. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, so I'm just grinding it up. Okay. I'm just grinding out. And don't try to put all of this in your food processor or your blender at one time. Oh, thank you, Ashley. Love you. My baby's so sweet. And I think I have 2 more grinds. So what I'm actually going to do now, so you see this freeze-dried strawberries? You can find this Walmart, any local grocery store. I'm going to actually blend some of these up, not the whole bag, but I'm going to blend some of them up. Don't say I never tell y'all nothing with my mixture. All right, and after this, I have one more to do. Oh my God, y'all, look at this. It smells so good. So good. One more grind and we are done. Okay. So we have all of our crunch grinded up. I'm just going through, making sure I'm getting all the big clumps or lumps out of it. This has been extremely informative. Oh, thank you, Queen. You are more than welcome. Thank you. Ooh, we got strawberry crunch. It's so good.
Is that dry strawberries?
Yes, it is dry freeze strawberries. Okay, bear with me just 1 second, y'all. I need to change my gloves out because this becomes very messy sometimes. I know. Gotta try next. Pork. We're gonna take a 1 minute break, y'all. I just need to change my gloves and get my pineapples. Last break. Okay, so I am back and we are basically bringing it all in. We're bringing it together. We are coming to the end of this. We have our strawberry crunch made. Now, keep in mind, this is actually good like on ice cream, Cool Whip. You can eat it pretty much on everything. You can eat it plain by itself, however you want to do it. It's a really good dessert. So now we have our chocolate melted. I'm going to actually stick this back in the microwave for about 30 more seconds, only because it's a little thick. Because I was letting it sit. So we have our chocolate melted. And now the only last part I'm going to do is color. I'm going to actually color it pink. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to color it. Okay, so the reason I'm going to color this is because I'm using strawberry crunch as the topping. And anytime that I make my treats, especially when something has to go on top, so you're not using as much crunch if the base of it is the same color, if that makes sense. So like if I was using the base, dipping them in just straight white, I will have to use a lot more crunch to cover it up. If I, you know, if that was the, if my goal is to make it look like fully immersed in strawberry crunch. So I like to keep my base the color of whatever it is that I'm going to top it with. So I'm just going to use some Wilton's pink oil-based coloring. So anytime you are coloring chocolate, it has to be oil-based. It cannot be gel. If you use gel, it will seize. You will not be able to dip it. You have to use oil-based. Do I got a question? What did you? Dottie, I actually get the strawberries. I actually get them out of my local Dollar Tree. They're on the same aisle like your peanuts and stuff is that, which probably in Walmart or Publix or something like that. I'm not sure what area you're in. They will probably be on the same aisle. But if you have a Dollar Tree in your area, this is where I get it. And they have like all type of flavors and everything. So I'm just going to put a little bit of color because it doesn't take much. To change the color. Let me see. Yeah, so I just want my base to be pink to give me that strawberry look. Or you could do red. I mean, you could do white. You could leave it white. It's just what I like to do. Okay, so all I'm doing is just stirring that up to change the color of my chocolate. So again, when you are coloring, you want to make sure you use oil-based food coloring. Do not use the gel because the gel will seize your chocolate and you will not be able to dip it. Yes, Dollar Tree. That's my stove. So I'm just making sure I'm mixing that up really good. Oh, down to my last piece of parchment. So now this is my dipping phase. I'm going to lay me some parchment paper down. Clean up my mess. Okay. And as you can see now, it's pink. Remember, consistency is the key because this is going to allow you to dip and move, dip and move, dip and move. If you can't dip and move, it's going to slow you up. So you want to keep your crunch next to your chocolate. So you dip, cover, and move. Okay, so let me grab my strawberry, mango, pineapple. Okay, just I'll place them right there. Okay, so I have my pineapples. Which they're froze. And I'm just going to dip. You want to shake off the excess chocolate. Now, you don't have to put it on the back. You don't have to put the crunch on the back, or you can, but to make it easier, I just dip it like that and just cover it up. Now, keep in mind when you have cold pineapples, as soon as you put it into the chocolate, depending on like how cold or froze they are, it's going to harden the chocolate really fast. So you want to make sure you dip and just roll it into the, I'm gonna just let that sit. You want to make sure you dip and roll it into the oh, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, let me just dip. So I'm just gonna dip. I accidentally pulled the stick out on this one, but that's fine because I'm just gonna use the stick to navigate dipping it. I'm just gonna cover it up with my crunch. See how easy that is? Okay, and I'm just moving it to the side after I dip it. Just covering it up after I dip it with my crunch. Move that over to the side. When you dip, you want to shake off the excess chocolate and cover it in your crunch. Don't worry about trying to pull your stick out just yet. Just wait until you have dipped and everything is fully dried. Now, when you eat these, because they are, you know, if you let them get really frozen, just take them out maybe like 10, 15 minutes before you're ready to eat them, just to kind of let them thaw out a little bit. And if it's not perfect, don't worry about it, because we are going to drizzle these as well. And then our last one. All right. This is what it's going to look like. Okay, so I have those dipped. Now I just need to move this out the way. 1 second. Okay, so I'm just going to pour my crunch into a bowl just so I can get my area cleaned up. And I'll move this to the side. So the last phase, we're just going to drizzle our pineapples. It can make a mess, so you have to just kind of clean as you go. All right, clean my mess up. Now I'm going to get a Ziploc bag so I can do my drizzling. Okay. And all I did was just wiggle the stick out of it. Just turn it, wiggle it, boom, boom. Turn it. Sometimes it's a little hard. Just give it a little extra push. Pushy, pushy. And I'm going to pour some of the chocolate into a Ziploc bag, or if you have a piping bag, just so we can drizzle it. All right. So you just want to have your bag at an angle like that. Do I have a question on that? Oh yeah, I did, Jay. Sweets. And when I see them, I try to rack up on them. I'm just gonna cut a little tip. Wait, I gotta get another bag. It's not giving me the flow I'm looking for. Yeah, when I see the freeze-dried fruits, I try to rack up on them. I'm just putting this in another bag because it's not flowing the way I want. And that's because these ain't the best scissors. These are the best scissors. It's always. It's fine. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just drizzle some additional chocolate over the top, and you're just going to allow your wrist to just flow. All right. So the last part is I am going to make a little bit of cream cheese dipping sauce to go on the side of these. And that will only take a second. So I'm just moving these out my way. Got my bowl.
Yeah, all the
Oh. Okay. Okay, so all you're gonna do for your sauce. So I'll take some dipping sauce too. What's ready for the sweet end of the course? Who's ready? Oh, I'll read all the stuff. Okay, so you want to make sure that your cream cheese is room temperature. All right, so it's room temperature. You can use a blender, which I probably should have used, but so we're gonna do it for now. So you take your 8-ounce room temperature cream cheese, and I am going to. This is a cup and a half of powdered sugar. I'm going to pour all of it just because I'm hand mixing this, and I'm just gonna mix this together. I probably should have just got the blender. It'll be a lot easier, and it'll be a lot easier if you just put this in a blender. But I'm just using some arm work. I'm just mixing it up myself. So this is good when a lot of customers they like to dip the pineapples into the cream cheese. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit more. You might as well say I added the whole thing. Let me see, do I got any questions on Believe me, so.
Someone says, how do you keep your chocolate from getting hard?
How do I keep the chocolate from getting hard? If you are having an issue with it getting hard, then you may want to add a little bit of vegetable oil or some of the Piermont crystals. That'll kind of help keep it thinned out for you. Or you can always just pop it back in the microwave for like 30 seconds to loosen it up. So I'm just mixing this my sauce here. And I'm gonna get a little bit of vanilla. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of vanilla extract. Like a half a teaspoon. And just go ahead and mix that back up. Like I said, if you use the blender, we make this a lot faster, but because I'm not making like a huge batch of it, I decided to just go ahead and whip it up. All right, so we have our dipping sauce. Throw my mess away. I'm making a mess, so I'm cleaning it all up. Okay, so now we are ready to pretty much plate our pineapples with our dipping sauce. Okay, so we have our freshly cut strawberries here, and we are going to plate our pineapples. I don't even know if all these are going to fit on here, but we're going to try. If not, it's okay. And I'm just plating them. I'm just garnishing them with some fresh strawberries. I feel like I should put another strawberry on this side. So let me know if you guys have any more questions. Tomorrow, I am actually, there will be some digital courses released on the website tomorrow. So if you signed up for email notification, you will receive an email notification on those courses that will be available. So I'm just kind of like just getting into all of this. So they'll be coming out maybe a little bit slowly, but they will be coming out. But I will have a few that will actually upload on tomorrow. And also, you can always message me, email us, and let us know the different type of things you would like to see, or what you would like me to show you. And I'll be more than happy to take in those suggestions as well. So I'm just putting a little bit of sauce in my 1 ounce cup here. And if you want to make this a little bit more saucy, you could add a little bit of heavy whipping cream. So I'm just going to put my sauce right there. Top it with some strawberries. And there you have it. There you have it. Thank you so much, Kristen. Like I said, give me feedback. This is my first live on this level, so I'm definitely open to feedback. Let me know what you guys like to see. what you want me to create. Definitely open to it. The Dottie, no. The ones that are dipped in chocolate, I do not put them back in the freezer. Only the ones that are dipped in candy, I will put in the freezer. But the chocolate, I do not put them back in the freezer. I just put it. You just put them in a container and put them in your refrigerator. No need to put them back in the freezer. The freezer for the reason we put the candy back in the freezer for the pineapples back in the freezer for the candy is to help prolong it from not breaking down so fast. That's all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Erica. Thank you, Dottie. Thank y'all. I really appreciate y'all staying on this live with me. And we're about to enjoy us some pineapples tonight. So I appreciate you guys, and you will be able to go back and watch the live. Thank you. Bye bye.